Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Behind the Brand, where we feature the top sales producers at Illustrated Properties, which of course means that they are the top sales producers in all of Palm Beach County and Martin County. And today we have a fantastic guest here with us. I get in trouble when I say one of my favorite people, but in this case, I may take one for the team and say it anyway. I'll hear about it later. Linda Bright's here with us today. She is a Mirasol Country Club resident for the last 19 years. She is a member of Realm, which is one of the top luxury sales associate groups in the United States, and she is one of the top sales associates in all of South Florida, operating at the highest levels of our business. Linda, thanks for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've done TV shows, you've done all kinds of stuff, and so we're doing our first little video podcast. I think we call it a video podcast. That may be incorrect, but this is exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. So tell me about how. Let's start back from the beginning. I mean, how did you get into the real estate background? You've got a corporate background and you've got a marketing and sales background. But how did you end up in the real estate business here in South Florida, and how did you end up at Illustrated?
Well, how I ended up in real estate business is when I was in New York. I was with Johnson & Johnson and pharmaceuticals, and they have phenomenal marketing background.
Yeah.
As you know, besides sales, they teach you marketing.
Well, they're one of the great American standards,
Yes.
Of all time, and
Yeah.
I can't imagine the training and the development that you were, experienced.
It's exceptional.
Yeah.
And at that time, a new Gulf Gated Country Club in New York was being completed in the area where Oak Hill Country Club is, which is it's a nationally, probably world-renowned club.
Right.
And it was very close to that, and the developer just began, and it was going to be the first residential Gulf Gated community.
Wow.
And we had joined the club, and he said, I need someone with your background to run this project.
Wow.
And so he made a wonderful offer, and I have, so it was really learning real estate from the dirt to completion, as well as understanding all the scenes behind the club. So I ran the marketing. I worked with the teams to determine, we did different architectural styles on each one of the subdivisions. We worked with the town to do, put the utilities in. I did the marketing. I did the real estate sales. I worked with the attorneys to create bylaws. So I really understood and had just this amazing education of real estate that you wouldn't really, under any circumstances, obtain initially.
Well, if you had worked at a larger development company, you would be segmented into the legal department or the customer service department or the construction. But it sounds like you got to see every aspect of the project, and then you obviously also saw the club management, which is it's a big part of not our direct business, but this is a country club community, obviously, and what they're buying is not necessarily the property. They're buying the club, the lifestyle, the community that they're interested in.
Yeah, so having that understanding I was there for a little over 10 years. The project sold out, and then I relocated to South Florida.
Wow.
Right directly into Mirasol. I was there 19 years. But, it helps so much with the understanding of working with my clients to be intimately understand and be involved in these communities and what it's really a lifestyle. You're coming down here for a lifestyle. So it's been fabulous to have that background and then come in here and understand all the clubs in the area, and it makes it very helpful to my clients to have that knowledge.
Well, whether it was Johnson & Johnson or with the development, I mean, what did you learn during that time that you think translates? Maybe it's subconscious. Maybe you're using things that derive from that particular period of time that you don't think about. But how does that translate over to what you do every day now?
Well, how it translates is that there's so many different factors to these communities. The most critical thing is that I have a keen understanding of what my clients' needs are. Yeah. And when I understand that and I really pay attention, listen to them, if I take them to the different communities, I see, what are they telling me about the communities? I think that helps the most because you have the background knowledge of what is necessary or what the lifestyle is going to be in each community, but it's really paying attention to the client and their needs.
Yeah. Well, that the New York project was obviously it was a pioneer type project.
Yeah.
And of course, we do those type of projects down here all the time now. You really saw everything, like you said, from start to finish, but you also saw, the business and the industry change. How has the luxury business changed over the years, from your vantage point?
Well, I think the luxury business has changed to people recognize that it used to be maybe people thought, oh, it's only for a certain amount of people. Now they understand it's a lifestyle choice.
Yeah.
And so it's opened up to a vast amount of people when they come to this area, because they realize I'm not just coming to a country club. I'm coming to somewhere that has everything that I could want in my community. And it's enjoying the life down here and the weather.
Right.
Yeah.
You're almost selling, you're obviously selling more than just the piece of real estate that's on the purchase agreement.
No, it's really what's critical is that they're matched with the community, because you can always find a house.
That's right.
It's the lifestyle that fits that individual and is really what's most critical in placing them.
Yeah. Well, those are, a lot of those decisions are relationship driven, obviously, and you are very close to your, to your buyers and sellers and have strong relationships, with them. What do your buyers and sellers expect out of you? What do they want from you? Is that any different? We're kind of we're in a dynamic market right now, and we had a big infusion of people that have moved over. Moved from the Northeast and other places in the last 24 months. But kind of talk about, what they want and what they need out of you.
Well, they need me to really have an understanding of what their needs are, what their timing is, what their lifestyle desire is. What are they trying to achieve? Are they here part-time, full-time? So they need knowing direction as to, what are the different nuances between all these communities? How will I fit in? Yeah. What maybe I only do this. Does this work with the lifestyle? So there's so many options out there. They really are looking for direction from me as to what may be the best fit for them. Yeah. And also for me to expose them to the properties that will be, of interest to them instead of, let me send you everything. I really narrow it down to what's the best fit for them. Yeah. And then I expose them to it. And what I try to do is take them in when they can also see what's going on at, different communities, clubs, so they can actually see the vibe of the community. Is this one more vibrant? This one's more quiet.
Right.
And that gives them a sense, they can use their instincts just by seeing what's going on. So I'm strategic in when I take them, so they can see the common areas and maybe people in, playing golf or tennis or dining, and that gives them a really good sense of the lifestyle for that specific.
Well, it's helpful to have the diversity of product that we do, and the diversity of clubs. They're all different, and we have a high concentration of them, right where we are. This market seems to be a little bit challenging to get a handle on exactly what's happening out there, because you were telling me recently about a $5 million, $6 million property that with multiple offers on it. We have other things that are maybe overpriced and are sitting for a lot longer than they would have been over the last 24 months. Where do you think we are? What's happening out there?
Well, what I'm seeing in this luxury sector, and it can be a gated community, it can be one that doesn't have amenities as well, a community without amenities, is that the buyers are careful in making their choices. Yeah. They are not missing a thing. They're looking at everything. Which
is drastically different than the way it was.
Before. So they're looking at everything. They're looking at everything twice. Yep. And they're, what else may be coming on? They're waiting to see if prices drop. Yeah. Some people, if they find specifically what they want and they've been looking for a while, they are making offers. And so it's a variety of things depending on where they are in their search. But they are very careful. They're looking at comps. And they're concerned about just spending the right amount. But with that being said, when a property comes on, say something that's renovated, it's unique, at somewhere that doesn't have inventory, then I am seeing some multiple offers.
Yeah. Or when you put somebody in your car and you drive them around and you start the search. Actually, the search starts well before that. But when you actually go and physically look, do you feel the inventory rising a little bit? I know it's still tight, but do you feel a little bit of less pressure than you did, let's say, last year at the same time?
There is more inventory, but it's selective.
Yeah.
So it might be in certain price points, might be in certain communities. So there is more. It just is depending on what price point. Is it luxury? Is it golf gated? Is it just a gated community? So it is very diverse than before.
Right.
Fluctuating.
Is there any, is there, you go back and your background is very interesting, and coming from the Northeast and the club background and the corporate America background, is there something that you would tell your younger self throughout that time that you wish you could go back and tell?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that really to enjoy every step along the way.
Yeah.
Of sometimes you're just rushing to learn so much or get so many things accomplished, but it's really enjoy the journey.
Step back and enjoy the journey and
journey.
Breathe a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you've obviously been very, very successful, and I think that a lot of people view you and some other top sales associates that we have as it looking easy, and it's certainly not an easy business.
No.
You handle it with grace, obviously, but those tough days where especially lately when you're trying to find them something and you just can't find them anything, or there's a pricing challenge, or maybe there is a personality difference between the buyer and the seller. Even in the high-end luxury space that you operate in, these things happen. How do you continue to stay focused and stay motivated and stay positive through all of that?
Well, I think you have to have a confidence level that it's going to come together, because when you do and you're tenacious, ultimately it comes together.
Yeah.
So you just have to keep moving forward. New opportunities might show up, and I think because when you've handled so many transactions over the year, that some are going to be more challenging than the others, and this one will work out. It may take longer, and you want to have that confidence. You want that to be reflected to your client.
Yeah, that's what we call operating with an infinite mindset, and you've got it. And we thank you for that, and we thank you for your passion and the branding and all the other things that you do for Illustrated. We really appreciate you doing that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the support, and Illustrated, it's been wonderful. The support has been fantastic.
Well, we'll continue to roll up our sleeves and navigate through this thing.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. Thanks, Linda.
Thank you.
Yeah.